For billions of years, the same water has been cycling around the Earth. From this perspective, it is hard to imagine that there can be any kind of water shortage on this beautiful blue planet. Yet almost 97% of this water is saltwater. Of the 3% that is fresh water, most of that is locked away in glaciers and icebergs. That leaves just 1% of the planet's water that is accessible and available to meet the needs of a growing human population. This 1% must quench the thirst of 7.5 billion people today and nearly 10 billion by 2050. And it is not just water for human consumption. From generating power to making automobiles, to operating artificial intelligence, to all the food we eat, water is involved in the creation of almost everything we enjoy. This is the hidden use of water, the water we don't see, that makes our modern life possible. As water passes through our cities and towns, farms and factories, and over natural rock formations, it picks up a host of contaminants that affect its quality. In addition, because water is not evenly distributed around the world, droughts and floods add additional pressure to water-stressed communities. Within the communities served by the Las Virgenes Triunfo Joint Powers Authority, there is no local supply of drinking water that can meet our needs. This means that all of the drinking water for both our districts must be imported. About 95% comes from Northern California through the State Water Project, and this water has its origins in the snow-covered Sierra Nevada mountains. In this system, the water travels over 400 miles, passing through numerous rivers, reservoirs, power stations, and pumping plants, which must lift the water over the Tehachapi Mountains, reaching as high as 2,000 feet. While this water has great value to our community, there is a significant cost and use of energy to transport it from the far north to our region. Nearly 20% of California's total energy production is used to transport water throughout the state. In addition, drought, a strained delta ecosystem, impacts from a changing climate, potential damage caused by earthquakes, and competition between water users means we cannot count on a consistent supply from the State Water Project. One of the ways in which we deal with these variations in supply at Las Virgenes is by storing water in Las Virgenes Reservoir. It is good to think of the reservoir as our water savings account, which can supply water for emergency and operational needs. During the summer, we draw water from the reservoir and treat it at the West Lake Filtration Plant, which can process up to 18 million gallons per day. Too often, we think the amazing journey of water ends at our homes and businesses, where we use it for cooking, cleaning, gardening, and more. Once we flush it down the drain, we don't think of it anymore as something that has value. In fact, our homes and businesses are only the halfway point in our local water cycle. The Joint Powers Authority's Tapia Water Reclamation Facility is the next stop in this cycle. This is where our used water gets cleaned and recycled so we can use it again. This recycled water provides great value to Malibu Creek by supporting endangered fish during the summer months when the creek has very low natural flows. Most of Tapia's water is returned to the community via our Purple Pipe network, where it is used in irrigating our parks, golf courses, and green belts that add value to our region. In the wintertime, however, when demand is not as high, much of the recycled water is released into Malibu Creek and eventually ends up in Santa Monica Bay. This precious water in which we have invested so much to transport and clean, is basically wasted. But does it have to be this way? If we thought of this water as a valuable resource instead of a waste, we open up a whole new world of possibilities. While the water from Tapia has always met EPA standards, new government regulations are now requiring us to clean the water to levels higher than drinking water standards before sending into Malibu Creek. With this new reality, it is time to rethink releasing this water downstream and losing it to the Pacific Ocean. We now have an opportunity to get even more value out of our local water. Our Pure Water Project will add additional treatment processes on top of what happens at Tapia so that this water is ready for potable reuse, which means it will be sent to our homes for drinking and other uses. The 3 additional proven treatment processes, microfiltration, reverse osmosis, and ultraviolet disinfection, have been used for decades on the International Space Station and closer to home in places like Orange County, California, to help replenish their groundwater systems and mimic what nature has done for billions of years. In fact, communities around the world in countries like Australia, Belgium, and Singapore have developed similar systems to recycle their own water. This is extremely safe technology that has already provided these communities billions of gallons of drinking water, and will do so tomorrow and beyond. In our case, we will send this highly purified water back to our water savings account at Las Virgenes Reservoir. Here it will meet California's strict regulations for dilution standards and holding times. Having come full circle, the water will blend with water in the reservoir and pass through the normal drinking water treatment processes at the Westlake filter plant. It will then be ready to be used again and again in our community. Eventually, the Pure Water Project will provide up to 30% of our water supply. The benefits of this will be immense to our region and beyond. First, that will be less water that we have to buy from the Metropolitan Water District of Southern California. Financially and environmentally, there will be great savings in the cost and energy that was needed to transport that water over such a great distance. It also creates our own local, sustainable supply of water that provides stability as our communities grow and prosper. The Pure Water Project is just another example of the Las Virgenes Triunfo Joint Powers Authority's leadership in innovation and sustainability, bringing water full circle. For years, we have been using recycled water for our parks, golf courses, and green belts, as well as reclaiming biosolids and converting them to a nutrient-rich soil amendment provided at no cost for the public. In addition, we have an expanding solar farm that is providing huge savings in electricity while reducing greenhouse gas emissions. As we do our part in saving precious natural resources, we ask that you do your part in protecting and conserving the most precious of them all, water. Things like collecting the water in the shower while waiting for it to get hot, turning off the tap while brushing your teeth, and landscaping with climate-appropriate plants and drip irrigation systems can save a significant amount of water each year. By bringing water full circle and using it over and over again, we are helping to sustain global water supplies by getting the most value possible out of every precious drop we use and reuse again and again.